Okay, so I'm going to be talking through. I mentioned I was going to do a video on finding our minimal viable product. So rather than doing more, one of the big kind of parts of my program is doing kind of less, but maybe doing it a little bit better, and it's kind of maybe fighting the do more kind of attitude of the fitness industry, where I don't think it works. Anyway, so kind of creating our MVP, our minimal viable product, when it comes to exercise, if weight loss is our target. So we're all busy, and I don't know about you, but life seems to be getting faster and faster and busier, and it's not really slowing down. And I know my children or my daughter is turning 10, and it feels like life is kind of flying by without really kind of noticing what's happening. Now, most of the tactics that when I speak to people, that I hear people using, involve doing big things and doing a lot. And maybe you've tried some of those things, maybe you've had some successes in the past, but then we might have gone back to where we were, or maybe we've gone too far down the other way. And if we're thinking about starting again, our lives maybe don't have the space to fit those things in. So I'm going to talk today about maybe a better way of doing things, more effective and easier, and I guess a bit more time efficient way to look at exercise if weight loss is our goal. So like I said, life is full with our families, we've got work, we've got just general life, kind of getting through life. And most of the fitness things that are out there involve doing more, and that maybe ties into the feeling that the only way to get sorted is to do something big. The only way to fix our weight is to do this big thing. And when we think about that big thing and that big change to our life, maybe our diet, maybe kind of going to boot camp every single morning at 6 a.m, we feel that kind of that familiar feeling of overwhelm, and that familiar feeling of overwhelm kind of leads us to doing nothing, and it kind of stops us reaching our goals. But actually, we do want a result. We do want to get to our target weight. We want to feel fitter. We want to feel healthy. We want to feel good about ourselves again. And we want to look better as well, and that's okay. We want to put a halt to our expanding waistlines. So, but it needs to fit into our lives now. It needs to fit into your life now. It needs to fit around what you're doing. Maybe in the past you've been able to fit in, play football 3 or 4 times a week, go to the gym and do all those things, but now we can't. So it needs to fit into your life right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to calculate how little we can do. We're going to create our minimal viable product when it comes to exercise, and we're going to do a little bit of trial and error. You're going to have to test things out. You're going to have to see what works and see what doesn't, but that's okay. It might take maybe a little bit of time, maybe a few weeks to work this out, but it's worth the effort. And I've had guys lose 20 pounds plus, and because part of it is finding how easy and little we can do this, how easy and little we can lose weight if we do kind of a little bit of analysis of what we're doing. But firstly we need to work out where we are right now. So what I want you to do kind of right now, or watching this video, or at some point in the next few days, is kind of work out what you're doing right now and write that down. What's the current situation? How much exercise are you doing right now? Kind of face that, okay? Write it down. Then I want you to get your goal in mind. What is your target weight? And again, you're going to write that down. You're going to write it down, you're going to make it real. There's something definitely different about putting pen to paper and saying, do you know what, I am going to commit to this. And I actually want to get to this target. So you're going to write that goal down. Next to that goal, you're going to write down why. Why do you want to achieve that weight? Why do you want to get there? Is it related to family, to children, running around after your kids? Is it related to maybe health problems that are maybe exacerbated by you being a little bit heavier than you want to be? I know, is it confidence? Do you want to kind of stand up tall again? Do you want to feel confident under your clothes as you're walking down the street? That's something that a lot of my clients say. They kind of walk a little bit taller because they've got a little bit more confidence. And I want you to be honest with it. You don't have to share it with anybody, but you write down your goal and write down why you want to achieve it. Now, a little bit of a caveat when it comes to kind of weight loss and exercise. Food is your first port of call. Okay, 80% of your weight loss is going to come from your nutrition. And I think you know that already. If you've been following my stuff, you know that. So that's just a little bit of a caveat. But we can exercise is part of the picture. Inside, I'm just going to share, if I can find it, I'm just going to share my screen because if I can find it, as part of my my private program, I created something called the hierarchy of fat loss. And these are the most important things that I think we need to focus on. As you can see, exercise is near the top, but it is part of that pyramid. Okay. Kind of diet and nutrition is a bit kind of further down, a bit more important, but exercise is part of it. Right, so going back to what I was talking about. So, but we can aid weight loss, we can aid fat loss with exercise. Now, if you're going from maybe very sedentary, maybe if you're stuck behind a desk and you're not doing very much right now, do not overcomplicate this situation. Okay, try something simple. A really simple kind of way to start is just counting your steps. How many steps are you doing currently? Get yourself a little Fitbit or whatever other things are out there and start increasing your steps. It's a very, very good indicator of how much movement we're doing. So if you are very sedentary, that's the first port of call. Again, don't overcomplicate the situation. If you've already started, if you're already working out, if you're already in a bit of a routine, again, use your Fitbit. Start tracking how much energy you're using during your workouts. Now, how it calculates that energy, I don't know, doesn't really matter, but we're going to get a number. You're going to be the only person wearing it, and you're going to be that person doing that exercise. So you're going to get a number, and we can set ourselves. We can get, I don't know, a week's worth of data, and you can go, right, okay, I know you burn 200 calories during my workouts 3 times this week. Okay, this week I'm going to set myself a target. I want to burn 250. And again, we're not going to make it massive. We're just going to start increasing it. So we're going to increase our workload. We're going to increase our energy usage there. I do have a little calorie workout tracker that I can share with you if you want. It's nice and simple. It's just a simple way of kind of tracking what we're doing. Once we get a bit of data there, then we can start kind of increasing it. Then we can work out, okay, what's our minimal viable product. It's an important part of it. Other thing that I want you to do is start trying new stuff. Again, if you're in a bit of a routine, think, okay, I've been thinking about trying running. I want to get out there. And so again, get your little tracker on. Think, right, go out for a run. How many calories did I burn doing that run? Maybe it was more than the other thing you were doing. Then, okay, now we know that is a slightly more efficient way. We can get a little bit closer towards our target that way. So try new things. Try something that maybe you haven't tried before. But again, another little caveat, you have to enjoy what you're doing. If you don't enjoy doing it, you're less likely to do it. And if you don't do it, you're definitely not going to get closer towards our target. So this was one of my clients, Jono. We did a live a few weeks ago. One thing we found out was we thought maybe his kind of HIIT workouts that he enjoyed doing were the best, but actually we found out that swimming was the best thing. And he had a waterproof watch, and he would go down, and actually found out that he actually burned a few more calories doing swimming, and he enjoyed that. He felt like it was a little bit of a cheat before that, like I enjoy it too much, and maybe I should be doing actually the workouts. But what we found out was the swimming was actually better. So that was a kind of a double win. So maybe you're thinking, well, Tom, I feel like I need to do more. I feel like it feels a bit too easy. I don't know. But if you're saying I need to do more and you're currently not in any kind of routine, then again, maybe own that situation that you're not doing maybe anything now and just change that. Again, like I said, if you are stuck behind a desk and you're quite sedentary, get in an easy routine, start getting up from your desk, do something, and just kind of take a little bit of a leap of faith from me and from what my clients do and from what I've been saying, that actually, if you get into the routine of doing these small things, eventually they will get the result that you want. You might also be thinking, I've got a big mountain to climb. I feel like it's a long way to go towards I reach my target. Okay, you might have a bit of a distance to go to do that. But I would say this, if you start making the changes, and when you get halfway up and you're looking down, that summit at the top of that mountain won't feel so far away. And also you'll be able to look down on at that place where you were and go, you know, look how far I've come. And again, celebrating that fact and that journey you've been on from there, from where you were to where you will be, is going to build that confidence and give you kind of a little bit of a boost to kind of get where you want to go. And also kind of on the flip side of it, okay, if you're thinking you're struggling to get started, I don't know, ask yourself this. If you're in the exact same situation you are in now, in 5-10 years time, how would you feel about that? And then think, actually, if in 5-10 years time, I was, you know, I've sorted this and I got on top of it, again, how would that feel? How would your life improve if you actually took that leap, took that little leap of faith that I'm going to do small things, I'm going to build this up, and in 5-10 years time, where would I be? So I want you to start thinking about how you can maximize what you're doing right now. Rather than thinking I need to do something massive, think, right, how can I maximize the small things? Get some data on kind of how your energy, how much energy your body is burning. And then we can know we're progressing. If you know you've added on a few more calories, kind of burnt a few more calories this week, you know you're progressing towards that target. And that gives us confidence that we're actually getting there. If you want a copy of my tracker, again, ask me, drop me a DM, drop me a comment there. I'm happy to send over. It's just a simple Word document. I like simple things, just an easy way of tracking that. Again, saying, you know what, next week, this is what our target's going to be, and this is how we're going to push ourselves a little bit further. So stop overthinking, stop thinking about that mountain, stop thinking about kind of how far I've got to go, and start thinking about that next small step you can do. If you nail all these little small steps, you will make it to the top of that target. Okay, I hope that's useful. I hope kind of that gives you a bit of information or detail on how you can create that MVP, that minimal viable product, to get kind of full weight loss. So we're maximizing the amount of time we've got to actually get where we want. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Speak again soon.